In life, the most profound choice you can make is to choose yourself. When you choose yourself, you make a commitment to your inner power, your worth, and your happiness. This is not a decision based on fleeting desires or external validation. It is a decision that comes from deep within, from the knowing that you are the creator of your reality. Your inner decision defines your life. This is not merely a philosophical statement, it's the foundation of your existence. The truth is that everything you experience in your outer world begins with a decision within. The power of decision shapes your reality, directs the course of your actions, and determines the quality of your experiences. You are not a passive observer of life, you are the active creator of your circumstances. When you make a decision, you are not just selecting an option, you are aligning with a particular version of yourself, a certain energy, a vibration that dictates everything that follows. The decision you make today about who you are, where you are going, and how you choose to engage with the world is the very thing that sets the course of your life. It determines your success, your relationships, your financial abundance, and your peace of mind. If you believe deep down that you are destined for greatness, your life will mirror that belief. If you decide that you are unworthy or that things will never work out for you, your reality will follow suit. This decision starts within you, in the quiet moments when you choose how you will respond to the world around you. It is not about the circumstances you face, but about how you decide to face them. Life will throw challenges, obstacles, and setbacks at you, but it is the inner decision that will determine whether those challenges will be stepping stones or stumbling blocks. The power lies in your choice. Will you let external forces define you, or will you stand firm in the decision that you are the creator of your world? Your inner decision is more than just a passing thought or an idle wish. It is a commitment to a vision, a deep-rooted belief that your desires are valid, that your goals are achievable, and that you have the ability to shape your destiny. This decision does not rely on your current circumstances. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you've been through. What matters is your unwavering choice to stand firm in the knowing that you are capable, that you have everything within you to create the life you desire. When you choose yourself, when you decide that you are worthy of love, success, and happiness, your entire life begins to transform. The decisions you make shape your actions, and your actions over time create results. Every choice, no matter how small, adds up to define the direction of your life. If you decide that you are deserving of abundance, your actions will reflect that belief. You will take the necessary steps to seek out opportunities, to work with confidence, and to show up as the best version of yourself. If you decide that you are not worthy, you will find yourself shrinking back, hesitating, and missing out on what is rightfully yours. Your decision to align with your highest self is the catalyst for everything. The moment you decide that you are no longer willing to settle for mediocrity, that you are no longer willing to accept less than what you know you deserve, the universe begins to align itself to bring you the opportunities, people, and resources necessary to support your vision. But this alignment can only happen if your decision is firm. It requires you to stand unwavering in the knowledge that you have already chosen your path, and now the universe must meet you on it. Think of this as the turning point in your life. The moment you make an inner decision to stop waiting for external circumstances to change, and to begin acting from a place of empowered self-awareness, everything shifts. The power of your decision is not in the outcome, but in the commitment to that choice. By choosing yourself, you become a magnet for all that you seek. And as you continue to make decisions aligned with your highest good, you will find that your life unfolds in ways you never imagined possible. This decision, this inner choice, requires a deep level of trust. It's trusting that no matter what, you have made the right choice for your highest self. Even when doubts creep in, when challenges arise, when it feels as though the world is not supporting you, you must hold steadfast to the decision you have made. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Your inner decision will guide you through the toughest times, and you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. The decision to choose yourself is a declaration of your power, your worth, and your ability to create. It's an acknowledgement that you are not a passive participant in your life, but an active creator, sculpting your reality with each thought, each action, and each belief. It is the most profound choice you can make because it aligns you with your highest potential. Your inner decision shapes your destiny. Everything you are experiencing today is the result of the decisions you have made in the past. And just as you created your present, you have the power to create your future by making the decision today to choose yourself. Self-love is the foundation. It is the bedrock upon which every success, every relationship, and every manifestation is built. Without a solid sense of self-love, no matter how hard you try, you will find it difficult to create lasting fulfillment in any area of your life. It's not enough to say you love yourself in passing or in moments of joy. True self-love is a constant practice, a commitment to seeing yourself in the highest light, even when life presents challenges or when you face your own imperfections. It is the internal compass that directs you toward the best life you can possibly imagine. Self-love begins with acceptance, accepting yourself as you are, in every moment with all of your strengths, weaknesses, past mistakes, and present ambitions. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but an active choice to love yourself unconditionally, regardless of circumstances. You may have flaws, but they do not diminish your worth. You may have made mistakes, but they do not define you. To truly love yourself is to understand that you are a masterpiece, created with purpose and potential. It means treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and compassion that you would extend to those you care about most. When you love yourself, you begin to recognize that your value is not tied to external validation. Too often people seek validation from others, be it from family, friends, or society, believing that their worth is determined by how they are seen or perceived. But when you truly love yourself, you no longer need others to tell you that you are worthy. You know it in the very core of your being. Self-love teaches you that the opinions of others do not define who you are. You are complete and whole on your own. Self-love also means honoring your needs, desires, and boundaries. When you love yourself, you do not settle for relationships or situations that drain your energy or undermine your sense of self-worth. You choose what aligns with your highest good, knowing that you deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, and care. Loving yourself means taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. It means saying no when something is not right for you, even if it may be difficult or uncomfortable in the moment. It's a refusal to tolerate anything less than what you know you deserve. As you build your foundation of self-love, you begin to cultivate a deep sense of self-respect. This self-respect is essential for creating the life you want, because it prevents you from accepting less than you deserve. People who love themselves set high standards for their lives. They believe they are worthy of great things and that their dreams are valid. They take responsibility for their actions, learning from their mistakes, but never allowing those mistakes to dictate their future. When you love yourself, you rise above the negativity of others and the doubts that may arise within you. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence because you know that you are enough, just as you are. When self-love becomes the foundation of your life, everything else begins to flow more effortlessly. Your relationships improve because you stop seeking validation and start attracting people who love and respect you for who you truly are. Your work becomes more fulfilling because you stop settling for mediocrity and aim for excellence in everything you do. Your health improves because you take care of your body, mind, and spirit, choosing nourishment, exercise, and rest that supports your well-being. Self-love opens the door to endless possibilities because when you believe in your own worth, you no longer see limitations, only opportunities. This foundation of self-love is not something you attain once and for all. It is a continual practice, something you build upon every day. It is a choice you make every moment, every thought, and every action. Some days will be easier than others, but each day is an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to yourself. It is in the small, everyday moments that you reinforce your sense of self-love. It's the way you talk to yourself when you make a mistake. It's the time you take to rest and recharge. It's the conscious decision to nurture your mind and body with positivity and care. The power of self-love cannot be overstated. It is the energy that propels you forward in the pursuit of your goals. It is the strength that allows you to overcome obstacles and rise above adversity. It is the light that attracts the right people and opportunities into your life. Without self-love, all the external achievements in the world would feel hollow. But when you build your life upon the solid foundation of self-love, everything you desire begins to align with your highest purpose. Self-love is not selfish, it is the most selfless thing you can do, because when you love yourself, you are better equipped to love and serve others. The power of self-awareness is one of the most transformative forces in your life. It is the key that unlocks the door to your fullest potential, allowing you to understand who you truly are and the deeper motivations that drive your actions. Without self-awareness, you live in a constant state of reaction, responding to life's events based on unconscious patterns and habits. With self-awareness, however, you take control of your narrative. You begin to observe your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors from a place of clarity, and from this awareness, you can consciously choose how to respond to the world around you. Self-awareness starts with a deep and honest introspection. It requires you to look within and ask yourself uncomfortable questions. Who am I really? What do I truly want from life? What are my strengths, and where do my weaknesses lie? This process is not always easy, because it forces you to confront parts of yourself that may have been hidden or denied for years. However, it is only through this process of self-examination that you can begin to uncover your true desires, values, and beliefs. When you become self-aware, you stop living on autopilot. You stop reacting to external circumstances without thinking and start responding in a way that aligns with your core values and your highest self. This means you begin to recognize the patterns of your behavior, why you act a certain way in different situations, why you make the choices you do, and how your past experiences have shaped your present reality. Understanding these patterns allows you to break free from the ones that no longer serve you and to consciously choose new, more empowering ways of thinking and acting. One of the most powerful aspects of self-awareness is the ability to observe your thoughts without becoming attached to them. Many people live their lives under the false belief that they are their thoughts, that the internal chatter that runs through their minds is who they truly are. However, when you develop self-awareness, you realize that your thoughts are not facts. They are simply mental patterns, often influenced by past experiences or external conditioning. By recognizing this, you can create space between yourself and your thoughts, allowing you to choose which ones to focus on and which ones to let go of. Real self-awareness also involves understanding and accepting your emotions. Many people avoid their emotions or suppress them, either because they are uncomfortable or because they believe they should only feel positive emotions. However, when you are self-aware, you acknowledge and honor all of your emotions, both positive and negative. Emotions are not something to be ashamed of or avoided. They are signals that provide valuable information about what is happening within you and around you. By becoming more aware of your emotional responses, you gain insight into your inner world and can begin to respond to situations in a more balanced, intentional way. Furthermore, self-awareness gives you the power to take responsibility for your life. When you are aware of your own patterns, behaviors, and emotions, you stop blaming external circumstances or other people for your situation. Instead, you recognize that you are the creator of your reality, and you have the power to choose how you show up in every moment. This sense of personal responsibility is incredibly empowering because it shifts you from a position of helplessness to one of strength. You realize that your choices matter, that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the world around you. Self-awareness also deepens your relationships with others. When you are self-aware, you can be fully present with the people in your life. You no longer project your own unresolved issues onto them, nor do you react out of insecurity or fear. Instead, you engage with others from a place of understanding, compassion, and authenticity. You recognize that everyone is on their own journey, just as you are on yours, and you approach interactions with openness and empathy. This allows for deeper connections and more meaningful relationships, as you are able to communicate more honestly and listen with a greater sense of understanding. The power of self-awareness also extends to your goals and desires. When you are aware of your true self, you are able to set goals that are aligned with your authentic desires, not with what others expect of you or what society dictates. Self-awareness allows you to tap into your inner wisdom, guiding you toward the path that is uniquely yours. You no longer chase after goals that don't resonate with your heart, but instead you pursue the ones that light you up and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Ultimately, self-awareness is a lifelong journey. It requires you to be patient and compassionate with yourself as you continue to grow and evolve. There will always be layers of yourself to uncover, new insights to gain, and deeper levels of awareness to reach. But as you continue on this journey, you will find that the more self-aware you become, the more clarity and peace you experience. You will feel more in control of your life, more connected to your true self, and more aligned with your purpose. The power of self-awareness is boundless. It is the key to living a life that is authentic, intentional, and deeply fulfilling. Recognize your worth before seeking validation. This is a crucial principle in creating a life that is not only fulfilling but authentic. Too often, people look outside of themselves for validation, whether it's in the form of compliments, approval, or recognition from others. We have been conditioned to believe that our worth is determined by external sources, by how others perceive us, or by how well we meet the expectations of the world around us. However, true fulfillment begins when you realize that your worth is not something to be earned or given by others. It is inherent within you, constant and unchanging. The first step in recognizing your worth is to shift your focus inward. You must come to understand that validation from the outside world is fleeting, unreliable, and ultimately irrelevant. When you seek validation externally, you place your sense of self in the hands of others, allowing them to control how you feel about yourself. One person's approval can lift you up, while their disapproval can knock you down. You may find yourself constantly chasing after the next compliment, the next acknowledgement, the next sign that you are worthy. But this cycle will never bring lasting peace, because it is based on something that is out of your control. To break free from this cycle, you must learn to recognize and affirm your own worth. This recognition begins with self-awareness. Take time to reflect on your qualities, your strengths, and your unique gifts. Acknowledge the contributions you bring to the world, even the small ones that often go unnoticed. Your worth is not defined by how much you achieve, how many followers you have, or how others perceive you. It is intrinsic to who you are, simply because you exist. You are worthy because you are human, and because you possess the unique qualities that no one else has. Your individuality, your experiences, and your perspective all contribute to your value in this world. Once you begin to recognize your worth, it becomes easier to stop seeking external validation. When you know that you are enough, you no longer feel the need to prove yourself to others. You no longer seek approval or confirmation of your worth from people who may not even see the full picture of who you are. You understand that others' opinions of you are based on their own perceptions and experiences, and they have no power over your true essence. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating. It frees you from the weight of constantly trying to please others or meet their expectations. You can now make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what will earn you approval. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, your actions will come from a place of authenticity, rather than from a desire to be validated by others. This shift allows you to live with greater peace, confidence, and self-assurance. Furthermore, recognizing your worth also means accepting your imperfections. Nobody is perfect. We all have flaws, and we all make mistakes. However, these imperfections do not diminish our worth. They make us human. The key is to stop using your flaws as a reason to diminish your value. Instead, embrace them as part of your unique journey. Your imperfections are part of what makes you authentic. They are part of what makes you relatable to others. Recognizing your worth means loving yourself fully, including both your strengths and your weaknesses, without judgment or self-criticism. When you operate from a place of recognizing your own worth, the relationships you cultivate also change. You attract people into your life who see you as you truly are, and who appreciate you for your authentic self. You stop settling for relationships where you feel undervalued or overlooked, because you now understand that you deserve more. You begin to surround yourself with those who honor you, support you, and value you, not because of what you do for them, but simply because of who you are. This internal recognition of your worth also makes it easier to set boundaries. When you value yourself, you understand that your time, energy, and attention are precious resources. You stop allowing people to take advantage of you or to treat you in ways that are disrespectful or harmful. You begin to say no when necessary, and you make choices that honor your needs and your well-being. The more you recognize your worth, the more you understand that you have the right to protect your peace, your energy, and your happiness. It's important to understand that recognizing your worth does not mean becoming arrogant or self-centered. It means having a deep, genuine appreciation for who you are without needing others to validate it. When you acknowledge your worth, you approach life from a place of abundance rather than lack. You no longer seek external validation to feel complete, because you understand that you are already whole. You do not need approval to move forward or to take action. Instead, you make choices based on what aligns with your true self and your authentic desires. In essence, recognizing your worth before seeking validation is a powerful act of self-respect. It allows you to live a life that is grounded in authenticity and inner peace. It is the foundation for true confidence and self-assurance. When you recognize your worth, you stop looking outside of yourself for validation, and instead you start living your life in a way that is aligned with your true values, desires, and potential. You realize that you are enough, and that everything you need to live a fulfilling life is already within you. You attract what you are, not what you want. This statement holds the key to understanding the law of attraction and the role of personal alignment in the manifestation process. Too often, people focus on what they want, whether it's love, success, wealth, or happiness, believing that by simply desiring these things, they will magically appear in their lives. However, what you attract is not determined by your desires alone, but by the energy you are emitting into the universe, the energy that reflects who you truly are at your core. In other words, you don't attract what you wish for, you attract what you are vibrationally aligned with. The universe is not simply a wish-granting machine. It operates on frequency and resonance. Everything, including you, is energy, vibrating at a particular frequency. When you want something, it's easy to feel like you're separated from it, as if it's something outside of yourself that you must reach for. But in reality, you can only attract what is on the same frequency as your current state of being. If you are constantly vibrating at a frequency of lack, doubt, or fear, you are unlikely to attract abundance, success, or love, no matter how much you desire them. Instead, you will continue to attract situations, people, and experiences that match those lower vibrations. This is why it's essential to focus on becoming the person who embodies the very qualities and values that you seek in your life. If you want love, begin by cultivating love within yourself. If you want success, begin by living with the confidence and drive of a successful person. If you want abundance, shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, recognizing that there is enough for everyone and that prosperity is your birthright. When you become the energy of what you desire, you will naturally draw those things toward you because you are now aligned with them. Alignment comes from understanding who you are and what you truly want to embody, not just what you want to obtain. Many people chase after goals, thinking that once they achieve them, they will feel fulfilled and complete. But fulfillment comes from the journey of growth and transformation, from becoming the type of person who can achieve those goals, not merely from the goals themselves. When you focus on aligning your energy with the life you desire, you stop seeing your desires as something out of reach. Instead, you recognize that everything you want is already available to you, because it is a reflection of the person you are becoming. When you live in alignment with your desires, you stop placing external conditions on your happiness or success. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment to feel good, to feel abundant, or to feel worthy. You create those feelings internally in the present moment because you know that they are what will bring you into harmony with your desires. You begin to take inspired action not because you feel you have to earn your desires, but because you are aligned with them and they are a natural extension of who you are. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop thinking of your desires as separate from you, as something you need to obtain. Instead, recognize that your desires are a reflection of the higher version of yourself, the person you are meant to become. When you shift your mindset in this way, you stop chasing after external validation or achievements. You start to understand that the true power lies within you, in your ability to become the person who naturally attracts everything you want. Another critical aspect of this alignment is emotional vibrational alignment. Your emotions are a direct reflection of the frequency you are emitting into the universe. If you feel unhappy, frustrated, or hopeless, you are emitting a low frequency that repels the very things you desire. On the other hand, when you feel joy, gratitude, and excitement, you are emitting a high frequency that naturally attracts positive experiences into your life. This emotional energy is magnetic, and it draws people, opportunities, and circumstances that resonate with that energy. Therefore, in order to attract what you desire, you must cultivate a state of emotional harmony with what you want to receive. It's important to remember that attraction is not about forcing or controlling outcomes. It's not about manipulating the universe or trying to control every situation. True attraction comes from a state of trust and surrender. When you are aligned with your desires, you trust that they will come to you in the right time and in the right way. You don't need to chase after them, because you know that they are already on their way. Your job is to simply stay in alignment with them and to continue being the person who embodies the qualities of that future reality. To attract what you are, you must become the person who has already manifested those desires. Start living from the end result. Act as though the things you desire are already yours, not in a way that is superficial or contrived, but in a way that feels authentic and natural. When you act in alignment with your desires, you are telling the universe that you are ready to receive them. You send out the signal that you are no longer waiting for your desires to show up. Instead, you know they are already here, and you are simply enjoying the process of their unfolding. Ultimately, when you attract what you are, it's about a deeper understanding of your own power and your ability to shape your reality. You are not just a passive participant in the manifestation process, you are an active creator. By becoming the energy of what you desire, you allow the universe to mirror that energy back to you in the form of people, experiences, and opportunities that are in alignment with your true essence. As you become more attuned to your inner power and your true nature, you will begin to see that what you desire is not outside of you, but is waiting for you to recognize your own ability to call it into your life. Trust the process of attraction. This is one of the most essential aspects of manifestation and living a fulfilled life. We often hear the phrase, trust the process, but what does it truly mean, especially in the context of attraction? Trusting the process means having unwavering faith in the unseen forces that are at work when you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires. It means understanding that everything is unfolding as it should, and that sometimes, even when things seem uncertain, the process is working in your favor, even if you cannot yet see the results. The process of attraction operates on the principle of energy alignment. When you focus on becoming the person who is in harmony with your desires, you set into motion a chain of events that work on both the seen and unseen levels. This process is not always immediate, and it is rarely linear. Sometimes things might seem to move backward before they move forward. But this is part of the unfolding. Trusting the process requires you to understand that timing is not always in your hands, but is always in divine order. The universe works in its own way, and often the most powerful shifts occur when we stop forcing or controlling the process. Trusting the process also means surrendering your need to control every outcome. One of the biggest blocks to manifestation is the belief that you need to have everything figured out, that you need to know how or when your desires will manifest. But this need for control creates resistance, which only slows down the manifestation process. When you release your attachment to specific outcomes and trust that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires to you, you create space for things to flow effortlessly. The more you can let go of control and trust that the process is unfolding perfectly, the quicker and smoother the manifestation process becomes. Another key component of trusting the process is the understanding that you must be patient. We live in a world of instant gratification, where we expect things to happen quickly, whether it's getting the perfect job, achieving success, or finding love. However, true manifestation takes time, and trusting the process requires you to have patience as you allow the seed you planted to grow. Just as a seed needs time to sprout, grow, and bloom, so too do your desires need time to materialize. Patience is not about waiting passively, it's about continuing to take inspired action, staying aligned with your desires, and knowing that the results will come in their own time. Moreover, trusting the process involves maintaining unwavering faith in the unseen work that is being done on your behalf. You might not see any visible evidence that your desires are manifesting, but this does not mean that things are not moving behind the scenes. Just because you can't see the immediate results does not mean that the universe is not working on your behalf. You must trust that, even in moments of doubt, there is a divine order to everything, and the events, opportunities, and people you need are being aligned in perfect timing. Every challenge, every setback, every delay is often part of this larger process, setting the stage for something even better than you initially imagined. Trusting the process also means learning to embrace uncertainty. The need for certainty can often hinder manifestation because it keeps you stuck in a state of fear and doubt. You may question whether things will work out, whether the process is really leading you to what you desire. But uncertainty is not the enemy, it's the fertile ground in which miracles grow. When you let go of your need for certainty and instead embrace the mystery of the process, you open yourself up to infinite possibilities. This is where the magic happens in the unknown, where your desires are not constrained by your limited understanding of how they should unfold. One of the most empowering aspects of trusting the process is knowing that every step, every moment, is a necessary part of the journey. Every action you take, every thought you think, and every feeling you experience are building towards the manifestation of your desires. Even the times when you feel discouraged or uncertain, you are still moving forward, still attracting the energy and circumstances that are in alignment with your higher vision. The journey itself is part of the manifestation, and trusting it means appreciating every moment as a vital piece of the whole. Sometimes trusting the process means accepting that things may not look exactly as you envisioned them, but they will always be aligned with what is best for you. You may think you want something specific, but the universe knows what will truly bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. When you trust the process, you open yourself to receive something even greater than what you could have imagined. Often, what we think we want is just a stepping stone towards what we truly need. Trusting the process means being open to receiving all the blessings that come your way, even if they don't come in the form you expected. Lastly, trusting the process means taking consistent, inspired action. You cannot sit idly by and expect your desires to fall into your lap. You must be willing to take the steps that align with your dreams, even when the path is unclear. When you trust that the process is unfolding perfectly, you are more likely to act confidently, knowing that your actions are part of a larger plan. Each step you take, no matter how small, is helping to bring you closer to your desired reality. Trust the process of attraction is about relinquishing the need for control, embracing uncertainty, and having unwavering faith in the divine timing of your manifestations. It is a practice of patience, self-belief, and surrender, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Trusting the process allows you to relax into your own power, knowing that you are always in alignment with your highest good, and that everything you desire is on its way to you. Always choose yourself first, and then choose who chooses you. When you make yourself a priority, when you recognize your inherent worth, and when you trust in the process of attraction, you empower yourself to create the life you truly desire. Understand that the universe responds to the energy you emit, and when you align with the best version of yourself, you become a magnet for the experiences, people, and opportunities that reflect that energy. Trust the journey, trust the unfolding, and have faith that everything you are working towards is already on its way. The most powerful thing you can do is believe in yourself and honor your path. Thank you for being present and open to this message. Remember, the most significant power you have is the ability to choose, to align with who you truly are, and to trust that what you desire is already yours. Keep choosing yourself, keep trusting the process, and watch as everything unfolds in its perfect time. Thank you, and may your journey be filled with abundant love, success, and endless possibilities. Picture yourself standing at the edge of an uncharted world, where no maps exist and no guides can accompany you. It's just you and the vast horizon ahead. In that moment, where do you turn? Whom do you call upon? These are questions not meant to intimidate, but to awaken you. Because the answer has always been the same: you only need yourself. We live in a society that constantly urges us to look outward. It insists we chase approval, accumulate possessions, and cling to others for validation. But what if I told you that the key to everything you desire lies not in the outside world, but in your ability to trust yourself? That the real source of strength, wisdom, and power is already within you, waiting to be claimed. There is no teacher greater than your own experience, no guide more attuned to your path than the quiet voice of your inner being. Yet we are often taught to silence that voice, to doubt our intuition, and to rely on the opinions of others. But today I invite you to shift that perspective, to see yourself as the foundation of everything you can and will achieve. This is not just a concept, it's a revolution in how you live, think, and create. If you stay with me through this journey, you will not only come to understand that you only need yourself, but will feel empowered to embody it in every aspect of your life. Are you ready to embrace the truth of your own power? Let's begin. Picture yourself standing at the edge of an uncharted world, where no maps exist and no guides can accompany you. It's just you and the vast horizon ahead. In that moment, where do you turn? Whom do you call upon? These are questions not meant to intimidate, but to awaken you. Because the answer has always been the same: you only need yourself. We live in a society that constantly urges us to look outward. It insists we chase approval, accumulate possessions, and cling to others for validation. But what if I told you that the key to everything you desire lies not in the outside world, but in your ability to trust yourself? That the real source of strength, wisdom, and power is already within you, waiting to be claimed? There is no teacher greater than your own experience, no guide more attuned to your path than the quiet voice of your inner being. Yet we are often taught to silence that voice, to doubt our intuition, and to rely on the opinions of others. But today I invite you to shift that perspective, to see yourself as the foundation of everything you can and will achieve. This is not just a concept, it's a revolution in how you live, think, and create. If you stay with me through this journey, you will not only come to understand that you only need yourself, but will feel empowered to embody it in every aspect of your life. Are you ready to embrace the truth of your own power? Let's begin. Self-reliance is not merely a skill, it is the foundation upon which every aspect of your life is built. When you understand that you alone are the architect of your experiences, you free yourself from the shackles of dependency on others. This realization is not about isolation or rejecting help, but about recognizing that the answers you seek and the strength you crave are already within you. To rely on yourself is to cultivate a profound sense of trust in your abilities, choices, and inner wisdom. It begins with understanding that no one else has walked your journey, seen the world through your eyes, or felt the emotions that shape your being. This uniqueness makes you the most qualified person to navigate your life. When you embrace this truth, you step into a realm of power where your decisions are no longer influenced by fear of judgment or the need for approval. Self-reliance also requires acknowledging your inner resources, your mind, imagination, and emotions. These are not just passive tools, they are active forces capable of creating worlds. Your thoughts shape your reality, your imagination designs possibilities, and your emotions fuel the actions that bring them to life. The more you rely on these internal forces, the more you discover their boundless potential. You no longer need external validation to confirm your worth, because you recognize it within yourself. There is a profound sense of liberation that comes with self-reliance. It allows you to take full ownership of your life. You cease blaming circumstances, people, or external conditions for your experiences. Instead, you turn inward and ask, what can I do? What can I change within myself? This shift in focus from the outer world to the inner world empowers you to find solutions, create opportunities, and overcome challenges. At its core, self-reliance is about responsibility, not the burdensome kind, but the empowering kind. It is the realization that you are responsible for your happiness, growth, and success. When you take responsibility for your life, you no longer wait for someone to rescue you or for circumstances to improve. You become the one who makes things happen. This mindset transforms every setback into an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. But self-reliance also requires courage, the courage to face uncertainty, make decisions, and sometimes fail. It is not about always getting it right, but about trusting that you have what it takes to recover, learn, and try again. This courage grows stronger every time you take action, reinforcing your belief in your capabilities. Over time, it becomes second nature, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with confidence and resilience. One of the greatest gifts of self-reliance is clarity. When you stop seeking answers outside of yourself, you begin to hear your inner voice with greater clarity. This voice, often drowned out by the noise of external opinions, becomes a guiding light. It leads you toward what truly matters to you, away from distractions and toward your authentic desires. You start to make choices that align with your values and vision, rather than those dictated by others. Moreover, self-reliance fosters a deep sense of self-respect. As you take control of your life and trust in your abilities, you begin to value yourself more. This self-respect radiates outward, influencing how others perceive and treat you. People are drawn to those who are self-reliant because they exude a sense of stability and confidence that is both rare and inspiring. Self-reliance also opens the door to creativity and innovation. When you depend on yourself, you are free to experiment, explore, and take risks. You become less afraid of failure because you trust your ability to adapt and find new solutions. This freedom allows you to think outside the box, pursue unconventional paths, and create something truly unique. In a world that often encourages conformity, self-reliance is an act of rebellion. It is a declaration that you are enough, that you have what it takes to succeed on your terms. This mindset does not diminish the value of collaboration or connection with others, but enhances it. When you are self-reliant, you enter relationships and partnerships from a place of strength rather than need, contributing more and expecting less. Through self-reliance, you come to realize that the world responds to the energy you project. When you radiate confidence and self-trust, opportunities and resources align in your favor. It is not a matter of chance, but a natural result of embracing your power. The journey to self-reliance may not always be easy, but it is undoubtedly worthwhile, for it leads to a life of freedom, fulfillment, and limitless potential. Your inner voice is a compass that always points you toward your true path. It is subtle, often drowned out by the noise of opinions, expectations, and distractions, but it is always there, quietly guiding you. Trusting this voice is not about blind faith, it is about building a relationship with your intuition, recognizing it as a source of wisdom that is uniquely yours. The journey to trust your inner voice begins with listening. This might sound simple, but in a world where we are constantly inundated with information and advice, learning to discern the whispers of your intuition can feel like a profound act of rebellion. It requires tuning out the external clamor and creating space for stillness. In moments of quiet, your inner voice becomes clearer, offering insights that align with your deepest desires and values. Trusting your inner voice also means overcoming the habit of second-guessing yourself. Doubt is natural, especially when the guidance you receive from within seems to contradict conventional wisdom or the expectations of others. However, it is essential to remember that your inner voice comes from a place of knowing that transcends logic. It operates beyond fear and societal conditioning, leading you toward what is right for you, even if it doesn't make immediate sense to the outside world. This trust is built through experience. Each time you follow your inner voice, you gather evidence of its reliability. You notice how it often steers you away from harm, toward opportunities, or into situations where you grow and thrive. Even when the path it suggests is challenging, you find that it was exactly what you needed to move forward. These moments reinforce your belief in your intuition and make it easier to trust it in the future. Your inner voice is also deeply connected to your emotions. While fleeting feelings like fear or excitement can cloud your judgment, your intuition often speaks through a quiet sense of peace or unease. You pay attention to how you feel when considering a decision. Does the idea fill you with a calm certainty, or does it leave you with a lingering discomfort? This emotional resonance is a clue that your inner voice is speaking. Building trust in your inner voice requires self-awareness. It asks you to recognize the difference between the voice of intuition and the voice of fear, doubt, or ego. Fear might scream at you to stay where it's safe, while your inner voice gently nudges you toward growth. Ego might urge you to seek approval, while your intuition reminds you to stay true to yourself. Developing this awareness takes practice, but over time you learn to distinguish the quiet truth of your intuition from the noise of other influences. Trusting your inner voice also involves taking action. It's not enough to hear it, you must be willing to act on its guidance, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. This action might require courage, especially if it leads you to step outside your comfort zone or challenge the status quo. But with each step you take, you strengthen your connection to your intuition and your confidence in its wisdom. There is an incredible sense of empowerment that comes from trusting your inner voice. It frees you from the need for constant reassurance or validation from others. You no longer have to rely on external advice to make decisions because you know you have a reliable source of guidance within. This independence allows you to navigate life with a sense of clarity and purpose that is unshakable, even in the face of challenges. Trusting your inner voice is also a form of self-respect. It is an acknowledgement that you know what is best for you, even if others do not understand or agree. By honoring your intuition, you affirm your worth and your ability to create a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. This self-respect radiates outward, shaping how you approach every aspect of your life. Perhaps the most profound aspect of trusting your inner voice is the sense of alignment it brings. When you follow your intuition, you align your actions with your authentic self. This alignment creates a flow in your life where things seem to fall into place effortlessly. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people and encountering opportunities that feel almost serendipitous. Your inner voice is your greatest ally, a constant presence that seeks only your highest good. It connects you to a deeper wisdom, one that is uniquely tailored to your journey. Trusting it is not always easy, but it is always worth it. As you learn to listen, discern, and act upon its guidance, you unlock a power within yourself that no external source can replicate. External validation is one of the most subtle and pervasive traps in life. From an early age, we are conditioned to seek approval from others' parents, teachers, friends, and society at large. We are taught to measure our worth by grades, accolades, likes, or applause. While recognition from others may bring fleeting satisfaction, it often leaves a void that no amount of external praise can truly fill. Breaking free from this need is essential to reclaiming your personal power and living authentically. The desire for external validation stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of worth. We grow up believing that our value is something to be earned through achievements, appearances, or social acceptance. This belief creates a relentless cycle of striving, where no amount of validation ever feels like enough. The truth, however, is that your worth is intrinsic. It exists simply because you are. When you understand this, you realize that no external approval can add to or diminish your value. Freeing yourself from the need for external validation begins with recognizing its limitations. Validation from others is fickle and transient. It can be given today and taken away tomorrow. Building your sense of self on such an unstable foundation leaves you vulnerable to the whims of others. True fulfillment comes not from how others see you, but from how you see yourself. It requires shifting your focus inward and cultivating a sense of self-worth that is unshakable. This shift begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on the times you sought approval from others. What were you hoping to gain? Often the answer is a sense of belonging, love, or significance. The key realization here is that these feelings are not granted by others, they are created within you. You have the power to provide yourself with the love, acceptance, and validation you seek. Breaking free from external validation also means learning to trust your own judgment. Too often we look to others to confirm the choices we make, doubting our ability to know what's best for ourselves. This habit undermines your confidence and disconnects you from your inner wisdom. Trusting your judgment requires practice. Start small by making decisions without seeking input from others. As you see the positive outcomes of trusting yourself, your confidence will grow. Another powerful step is letting go of the fear of disapproval. Fear of judgment is a major barrier to authenticity. It leads you to conform to others' expectations, even when they conflict with your own desires. But the truth is, no matter what you do, there will always be someone who disapproves. Seeking to please everyone is an impossible task that drains your energy and stifles your individuality. When you release the need for approval, you reclaim the freedom to be yourself. Detaching from external validation also involves redefining success. Society often measures success by outward markers, wealth, status, or popularity. But these metrics are meaningless if they come at the cost of your happiness or integrity. True success is deeply personal. It is about living in alignment with your values, pursuing what brings you joy, and creating a life that feels meaningful to you. When you define success on your own terms, you free yourself from the pressure to meet others' expectations. A critical aspect of this journey is learning to validate yourself. Celebrate your achievements, acknowledge your efforts, and affirm your worth. Speak kindly to yourself and offer yourself the encouragement you would give to a loved one. Self-validation is not arrogance, it is a practice of self-respect. It reminds you that your opinion of yourself matters more than anyone else's. Breaking free from external validation also deepens your relationships. When you no longer seek approval from others, you show up as your authentic self. This authenticity fosters genuine connections, free from the pretense or manipulation that often accompanies the need for validation. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin, because it inspires them to do the same. Most importantly, releasing the need for external validation allows you to align with your true purpose. When you are no longer driven by the desire to impress or please others, you gain the clarity to pursue what truly matters to you. You stop chasing superficial goals and start living with intention. This alignment with your inner truth brings a profound sense of peace and fulfillment that external approval could never provide. Breaking free from external validation is not about rejecting others or ignoring feedback. It is about reclaiming your power and recognizing that your worth and happiness come from within. It is a practice of self-awareness, self-trust, and self-respect that liberates you from the exhausting pursuit of approval and opens the door to authentic, purposeful living. Imagination is not a mere escape from reality. It is the foundation upon which reality is built. Everything that exists in the physical world first existed in the realm of imagination. The buildings you walk past, the technology you use, even the clothes you wear, all were once intangible ideas in someone's mind. Your imagination holds the same power, serving as the birthplace of every possibility and the blueprint for the life you wish to create. The process begins with understanding that your imagination is not separate from reality. It is intricately connected to it. The mind operates as a projector and imagination is the film. What you consistently imagine in your mind's eye becomes the script that reality follows. Whether you are conscious of it or not, you are constantly using your imagination to shape your life. The key is to become intentional about this process. Imagination shapes reality through the thoughts and emotions it generates. When you visualize a desired outcome, you activate feelings of joy, excitement, or gratitude, as if the outcome were already real. These emotions are not insignificant. They are energetic signals that influence your actions and decisions. When you imagine yourself succeeding, you naturally take steps that align with success. Your confidence grows, Your persistence strengthens, and opportunities seem to present themselves effortlessly. However, imagination can also work against you if left unchecked. Dwelling on fears, doubts, or worst-case scenarios activates the same emotional and energetic processes, leading to self-fulfilling prophecies. The more vividly you imagine failure, the more likely you are to sabotage your own efforts. This is why cultivating a disciplined imagination is crucial. By consciously directing your thoughts toward positive outcomes, you harness its power to create the life you desire. Imagination is not limited by current circumstances. One of its greatest gifts is its ability to transcend the boundaries of the present moment. No matter where you are or what you face, your imagination allows you to step into a future of your own design. You can envision yourself thriving even in the midst of struggle, creating a mental reality that inspires and sustains you. This vision becomes a guiding light, pulling you toward a better version of yourself. A disciplined imagination involves consistent practice. Visualization is a powerful tool for this purpose. Set aside time each day to vividly imagine your goals as already achieved. Engage all your senses in this process, see the details, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions of success. The more real your imagination becomes, the more deeply it influences your subconscious mind. This alignment between your inner vision and your beliefs accelerates the manifestation of your desires. Your imagination also thrives on clarity. Vague or scattered images yield vague or scattered results. Be specific about what you want to create and hold that vision with unwavering focus. Avoid letting doubts creep in, as they dilute the power of your imagination. Instead, anchor yourself in the certainty that what you imagine is not only possible but inevitable. This mental discipline requires practice, but its rewards are transformative. Imagination shapes reality not only on an individual level but also collectively. The shared visions of humanity have created societies, cultures, and advancements that once seemed impossible. Your imagination contributes to this collective reality. By dreaming boldly and acting on your visions, you play a role in shaping the world around you. Never underestimate the ripple effect of one person's imagination brought to life. The power of imagination extends beyond material achievements. It influences your relationships, health, and sense of self. Envision yourself as the person you aspire to be: confident, compassionate, and fulfilled. Imagine harmonious relationships, vibrant health, and a life filled with purpose. These inner images guide your behaviors and choices, aligning your external reality with your highest aspirations. Imagination is a gift that requires no resources other than your mind. It is always available, limitless in its potential, and uniquely yours. When you recognize its power, you realize that the circumstances of your life are not fixed, they are malleable, waiting to be shaped by your vision. By choosing to see the world not as it is, but as it could be, you unlock the ability to transform your life from within. Self-doubt is one of the most pervasive obstacles to personal growth and achievement. It creeps into your thoughts, whispering that you are not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to achieve your goals. It convinces you to question your decisions, delay action, or settle for less than you truly desire. Overcoming self-doubt is not about banishing it entirely, but learning to recognize it for what it is: a habit of thought that you have the power to change. At its core, self-doubt stems from a fear of failure or rejection. It arises when you compare yourself to others, measure yourself against impossible standards, or dwell on past mistakes. These thoughts create a cycle that reinforces insecurity, making it harder to take risks or embrace opportunities. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is to understand that it is a learned response, not an inherent truth. This awareness allows you to detach from the negative narratives that hold you back. One powerful way to combat self-doubt is through self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that trigger feelings of inadequacy. Are they based on facts, or are they assumptions fueled by fear? Often self-doubt is rooted in distorted beliefs about your abilities or worth. By questioning these beliefs, you begin to see them for what they are: illusions that can be challenged and rewritten. Rewriting these beliefs requires intentional effort. Replace self-critical thoughts with affirmations that reflect your potential and worth. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I can't do this," counter it with, "I am capable of learning and growing through this experience." Affirmations may feel unnatural at first, but with repetition they become embedded in your subconscious mind, gradually replacing doubt with confidence. Self-doubt also loses its power when faced with action not often. Doubt thrives in the absence of evidence. You may hesitate to start something new because you fear you won't succeed. But the only way to build confidence is by proving to yourself that you can take steps forward. You start small if necessary, but start. Each action, no matter how minor, becomes a building block for self-belief. Another effective strategy is reframing failure. Self-doubt often magnifies the fear of making mistakes, leading to paralysis. However, mistakes are not evidence of inadequacy, they are opportunities for growth. When you shift your perspective to see failure as feedback, it becomes a stepping stone rather than a barrier. Celebrate the courage it takes to try and use setbacks as part of the learning process. Surrounding yourself with supportive influences also helps diminish self-doubt. The people you spend time with can either reinforce your insecurities or inspire your confidence. Seek out those who uplift and encourage you, who remind you of your strengths and potential. At the same time, distance yourself from those who perpetuate negativity or undermine your self-worth. Positive connections serve as a mirror, reflecting the best parts of you and counteracting the voice of doubt. Practicing self-compassion is another crucial element in overcoming self-doubt. Be kind to yourself in moments of uncertainty or struggle. Acknowledge that everyone experiences doubt, and that it is not a reflection of your worth or abilities. Treat yourself as you would a close friend, offering understanding and encouragement rather than criticism. Self-compassion creates a safe inner space where you can navigate challenges with resilience and grace. Visualization is a powerful tool to counter self-doubt. Close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding in the very areas where you feel uncertain. Picture yourself speaking confidently, achieving your goals, or overcoming obstacles. This mental rehearsal conditions your mind to associate success with your efforts, making it easier to take bold actions in the real world. Lastly, remember that self-doubt is not a fixed state. It fluctuates based on your thoughts and experiences. Each time you confront doubt and choose to move forward despite it, you weaken its hold. Over time, the voice of self-doubt becomes quieter, replaced by a growing sense of self-assurance. This journey requires patience and persistence, but every step you take brings you closer to realizing your full potential. Manifestation is often misunderstood as an external process, something that requires luck, timing, or external circumstances to align in your favor. In truth, manifestation begins within. It is an internal journey of aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to create. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and when you shift your internal state, the external must follow. The foundation of manifestation lies in the thoughts you consistently entertain. Every thought carries energy, shaping the frequency at which you operate. Positive, empowered thoughts align you with possibilities, while negative, limiting thoughts create barriers. This is not about ignoring challenges or denying reality, but about choosing to focus your mental energy on solutions, growth, and abundance. Your mind becomes the architect of your reality, designing the life you experience moment by moment. Equally important are the emotions you cultivate. Feelings act as the fuel that propels your manifestations forward. It is not enough to think about success. You must feel it as though it is already yours. The vibration of joy, gratitude, and confidence creates a magnetic pull, drawing circumstances and opportunities that resonate with your inner state. Conversely, feelings of doubt, fear, or lack signal resistance, delaying or distorting the manifestation process. To begin manifesting from within, clarity is essential. You cannot manifest what you do not clearly envision. Take the time to define your desires with precision. What does success look like for you? What does happiness feel like? By painting a vivid mental picture, you give your mind a target to focus on, a destination to move toward. Clarity eliminates confusion and ensures that your energy is directed toward what truly matters to you. Belief is another cornerstone of manifestation. You can only manifest what you believe is possible. If deep down you harbor doubts about your ability to achieve your goals, those doubts will manifest as obstacles. Examine the limiting beliefs that may be holding you back, beliefs inherited from your upbringing, past experiences, or societal conditioning. Replace them with empowering beliefs that support your vision. Tell yourself, I am worthy of abundance, or I have everything I need to succeed. These affirmations reprogram your subconscious mind, aligning it with your desires. Visualization is a powerful tool to ignite the manifestation process. When you close your eyes and imagine your desires as already fulfilled, you create a mental rehearsal of success. You engage all your senses in this process, see the colors, hear the sounds, and feel the emotions associated with your vision. The more vivid your visualization, the more deeply it impresses upon your subconscious mind, which then works tirelessly to align your reality with the image you've created. Gratitude is another internal practice that accelerates manifestation. By focusing on what you are grateful for, you shift your attention from lack to abundance. Gratitude raises your vibration, making you a match for the experiences you seek to attract. Begin each day by reflecting on what you already have, no matter how small it may seem. This simple practice creates a mindset of abundance, signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive even more. Inner alignment also involves taking inspired action. Manifestation is not a passive process. It requires you to meet the universe halfway. Pay attention to the intuitive nudges and ideas that arise as you focus on your desires. These are breadcrumbs guiding you toward your goals. When you act on these inspirations, you create momentum, demonstrating your commitment to your vision. Patience is a vital aspect of manifesting from within. Just as seeds take time to grow into flowers, your desires need time to materialize. Trust the process, knowing that everything is unfolding at the right time and in the right way. Resist the urge to force outcomes or succumb to frustration. Instead, maintain faith in your vision, continuing to nurture it with positive thoughts and emotions. Manifestation begins within, because everything you experience starts as a thought, feeling, or belief. By mastering your internal state, you gain the power to shape your external reality. This understanding shifts your perspective from one of powerlessness to one of empowerment, reminding you that the life you desire is already within your grasp, waiting to be brought forth. At the heart of every great achievement and every profound transformation lies a powerful truth: you are the creator of your reality. This is not a metaphor or an abstract concept. It is the very essence of your existence. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the tools with which you mold the experiences of your life. Every action you take and every choice you make stems from the inner narrative you tell yourself. When you fully embrace this responsibility, you unlock the ability to consciously shape the world around you. Your power as a creator begins with your thoughts. Every thought you think has energy, and this energy shapes the lens through which you view the world. Positive, empowering thoughts act like seeds planted in fertile soil, ready to grow into a harvest of success, joy, and abundance. Conversely, negative or limiting thoughts create barriers, preventing you from seeing opportunities and solutions. The universe responds not to random wishes, but to the consistent energy you emit through your thoughts. Belief amplifies this process. A belief is nothing more than a thought you have accepted as truth, but it carries immense power. If you believe you are capable, resourceful, and deserving, you will act accordingly, attracting circumstances that reflect these truths. On the other hand, if you believe you are inadequate or unworthy, you will unconsciously create barriers that align with those beliefs. To create the reality you desire, you must challenge and transform any beliefs that do not serve your highest good. Emotions are another vital component. It is not merely about daydreaming, but about impressing a clear and compelling image onto your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not differentiate between what is imagined and what is real. It works to bring about whatever is most vividly and consistently envisioned. The more detailed and emotionally charged your visualization, the stronger its impact on your reality. Being a creator also means taking responsibility for your current circumstances. This can be a difficult truth to accept, especially when faced with challenges or setbacks. However, understanding that you have played a role in creating your experiences empowers you to change them. Blaming external factors only reinforces a sense of powerlessness. By owning your creative power, You reclaim your ability to alter the course of your life. Action is the bridge between the inner and outer worlds. While your thoughts and beliefs set the foundation, action brings them to life. Inspired action, in particular, arises from alignment with your desires. These are the steps you take not out of obligation or fear, but from a place of clarity and purpose. When your actions are fueled by faith in your vision, they carry a momentum that propels you toward your goals. Faith in your creative power is essential. Doubts and fears may arise, but they are merely indicators of resistance and opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to your vision. Faith allows you to persist even when the results are not immediately visible. It reminds you that creation is a process, and that the universe is always working in your favor when you align with your true intentions. Being the creator of your reality is both a privilege and a responsibility. It means that you are not at the mercy of circumstance and distractions. You will hear the clear and steady call of your own potential. This is the voice that guides you, the power that shapes your destiny, and the force that aligns your reality with your deepest desires. Understand that manifestation begins within you. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with your vision, the universe responds in kind. You are the creator, capable of turning even the most impossible dreams into undeniable reality. Let go of self-doubt, embrace your creative power, and step into the life you were meant to live. Thank you for taking this journey with me today. Your willingness to reflect, imagine, and embrace the truth of your inner power is a testament to the greatness within you. Remember, everything you need to create the life you desire is already within you. Keep trusting yourself, keep believing in your dreams, and keep stepping boldly into your power. Thank you, and may your journey ahead be one of clarity, courage, and boundless success.